So here we are in game. Oh look, HonTour streams now online. That's real nice. For them, I'm not online because I don't use Twitch because I'm a loser. Anyway, so here we are, game 1 of this series between TKAG and YLTP. As I've said before, I think probably my favorite name of any team in HoN. I don't know why, I just find it extremely funny. Because I think it's because it's you love to party. Yes, yes I do. They're telling me that I love to party, and I guess they can't be wrong, can they? They sound very authoritative about it. It's not even a question. So enough stupid comments from me. Of course, both these teams getting knocked down to the losers bracket. We are in the losers bracket round 2. YLTP getting taken out by BMG, and TKAG, I believe, lost to Denial. I want to say no, Xset or NK. NK, yeah, they lost to NK. There it is. I managed to remember. NK, of course, themselves getting knocked out by Xset in the next round, so that's what happened. So both of these teams looking to fight for their Cycle 10 Diamond lives here, and as everybody knows, one of them will lose, and possibly both of them, maybe. If you haven't heard, I don't know, for some reason, what the Cycle 10 results are. But TKAG actually using, I think, a ringer here in Ari. They usually have somebody else there, because Bray's usually in that final spot, and I cannot remember who it is. So I could go look it up real fast. Hey, might as well just do that real quick. Let's see who it is. Stupid thing loads. Strifer is usually their last. So, I don't think RA is actually a ringer. I think he's, or a Smurf guy or something like that. I think that's just a different player. But you never know. Enough of stupid stuff like that. Actually, speaking of player names, are they just like massive Asterix fans over here on the Albert side? Because Cinelix, Smithix, Majestix, and Zudonix. And only NightEU is the only non-potential Gaul over there on the Hellbird side. So maybe they just really love Asterix comics, and if so, good for them. It's a great series. Going into the bans though real fast, Keeper of the Forest, Greenex, Warbeast, and Ophelia. So that Oath ban once again caught me out. We see her banned so often, and I can understand why, because she is a very strong hero, although I'm not sure if I'd really consider first ban stage worthy. I don't know. I really hate Scout. Since he took those nerfs, he's not nearly as annoying. We don't see him pretty much at all, and I'm not sure if that's legitimate. I don't think that the nerfs were strong enough to destroy what he was, and that was probably one of the best heroes in the game. Just so goddamn versatile. But we'll see. Clearly, teams not valuing him very highly, as he is very often just left completely untouched. Pretty heavy on the suicides, of course, with Keeper, Greenex, and Warbeast all having some pretty serious suicide potential, as well as the jungle with Keeper, Warbeast, and Ophelia all potentially being jungle heroes. Of course, we never actually see Warbeast in the jungle, but Keeper we have seen more in that jungle role. We have seen him occasionally as a suicide still. So clearly teams thinking that they can run him in both roles and having some pretty good success in both roles, so there's plenty to believe that they are correct about that. Moving into the picking stage, Pestilence first pick. That's going to be anybody's surprise there, as he is considered one of the strongest heroes in the game right now, and very often first picked either by the Legion or the Hellborn side. If he's not banned out, I don't think I've ever seen him make it through to the second banning stage or even the second picking stage. So they're in Bubbles are going to be their follow-up. So I like this. Fairly good amount of synergy. Pesty Bubbles, of course, a lot of gotcha potential, quite a bit of initiation and burst. So they're on top of that. Probably run as a short laner here. We don't see supports there too often, although we have seen it occasionally. And I do like him a little better in that role as a carry with some farm on. I mean, it's pretty well as a support, but I think he's a little stronger if he gets some items. Meanwhile, I think the synergy here is pretty solid, especially because instead of slow is going to help out with Pesty and Core Procs and Flight, chasing people down. Poison Burst on top of a Kelp Field, so everybody stays in place and needs a bunch of poison damage. That's going to be real nice. So I'm liking the makeup here on the Legion side. NG Prisoner on the Hellborn side on top of a Rhapsody now, as they're clearly going for a dual support lineup. It's interesting note, neither team picking up a jungler here. Both Parasite and Tempest are available. Of course, Pestilence already been picked up. But neither side choosing to grab one. I assume Hellborn's going to ban out all the junglers now because they have obviously chosen to go for a dual support lineup. They could also focus bans on the support heroes as Legion has no support yet, and they're clearly looking to pick one up. They could, of course, run that Saloon support as I mentioned earlier, but I doubt that's going to happen. In the meantime, NG Wrap Prisoner here. I wonder if this is going to be a tri-lane. Prisoner is a bit notorious for running in tri-lanes. He also does well in a dual mid situation, of course, and having him go mid with that Engineer is certainly also a possibility. So far the Hellborn side, hasn't really shown their hand yet. I think Legion has a little more, as Pesty is almost certainly to be a mid hero. Bubbles is going to be a suicide, and so there's going to be a short laner. So, we'll see if that's actually how things play out, but that would be the expected setup here from the Legion side. On the Hellborn, they're a little harder to determine. They could, of course, go that short laner with a babysit Wrap, Prisoner, NG mid. They could run a tri-lane with NG Prisoner and Rhapsody either aggressive or in the short lane. So they could go a couple different directions here. Some pretty good strategy here coming out from YLTP. I think I like Legion's picks a little bit better just because, of course, Tempest is still open, and we'll see if that remains the case, but they do have the possibility to run a jungler, and I think their heroes work well together. Of course, Hellborns do too, but I slightly prefer that Legion lineup, I think. But Hellborn has done a better job of really obfuscating what their plan is, and that's certainly to be commended, as of course the Tempest and Parasite both get banned out by the Hellborn side along with Master of Arms, so a support and both junglers, no particular surprises there. As they've said, okay, we've already picked up our supports, so might as well get rid of the ones that you want, as well as the junglers, so that you're forced into a dual support strat like we are, and you can't take an advantage by putting a hero in the jungle. On the Legion side, Moon Queen, Pharaoh, and Kraken coming out as bans, so I think the Pharaoh was just in case they didn't ban the Tempest, sort of a preemptive ban on Kindman's part there, because I think he was going to first pick that Tempest if they left it open on the Hellborn side. Moon Queen and Kraken. Of course, Moon Queen, they still lack a short laner here on the Hellborn side. They could put her down there with Babysit Rhapsody or even solo if they're so inclined with the aggressive tri-lane. And of course, Moon Queen, one of the hardest carries in the game, certainly a harder carry than anybody that the Legion side has, so try to take the late game away from the Hellborn a little bit. But that won't happen because they do pick up the CD. And of course, Kraken has some versatility to him, so he could be run as a suicide, could be run as a short laner, could even be run as a mid, so obviously that here would fit very well into the Hellborn lineup, and of course release the Kraken under Prisoner Ultimate and inside of an NG field, gives him a lot of AoE ulti synergy, so those heroes would certainly work well together. Strong bans coming out from both sides, really addressing what the other team has picked up and where they might go with their next couple of picks, so nicely done, I think, by both captains. Moving into the second picks, Torture coming out first for the Legion side, so that's probably pretty definitely me running as a support unless they pick up another support here and run that Slither support with a Torture carry. I doubt that's going to happen. I expect this to be Slither and Torture support and a second support picked up here, but we'll see. Ian, let's see, Empath would be a strong choice, does pretty well with Pesty. Nymphora also a decent option. Witch Slayer, just generally considered a bunch of strong support heroes there. So they have a few pretty solid options. Of course, Witch Slayer, one of those more aggressive ones, would probably pair well with Pyromancer, also an aggressive support. So they're clearly looking for kills here with this Torture Pyro. And they're probably going to stick a Bubble Suicide, Torture Pesty mid, still their Pyromancer bottom. They could also put really, Torture and Pyromancer could be, are sort of interchangeable. They could be in either the bot or the mid lane, and there's quite a lot of kill potential there between a Pesty and a setup stun, or a stun that he can follow, or a stun that follows his, as well as some pretty solid damage coming out from both Tort and Pyro. And of course, Slither has a similar situation where if he gets the poison spray off, then a stun lands, and a nuke very possibly, or an impalement, can do quite a lot of damage very quickly. But we're going to see a Madman pick up for that suicide lane, and I'm strongly anticipating. Well, let's see. So I see that's going to be Madman Suicide, and I'm thinking this is going to be two dual lanes here on the Hellborn side. I don't really see this solo corrupted mid as an option. They could run a tri-lane mid, but I'm not sure if I've ever actually seen that more than once or twice. I don't like it either. I don't think that's really a great idea. It's a little too easy to defend. And really the tri-lane top would pretty much go up against the suicide bubbles. And actually, HoN is playing the bubbles, so that might be a mid-bubs. And we could even see a tri-lane from Legion, actually, for that matter. So both sides with some potential to do some crazy stuff. HoN is on bubbles, which makes me suspect that he's going to get run in the mid lane. And I think with his items, that's pretty clear. This is going to be a mid bubbles. So now I expect actually a aggressive aggressive tri lane here from the Legion side with a Slither solo short. That makes sense, I think, with the items they've gone, the armor buff onto Slither plus the dual regen. He's expecting to need that. Then he'll be bought by himself, and up on top, Pesty's clearly the farmer. Torturer's brought a bunch of regen. Pyromancer's brought a bunch of regen, so that's probably going to be a tri-lane up on top. As we are going to see a clash here, I think, in this Legion jungle. They're going to catch Madman here, but not going to be enough. Pressure's going to hook in, hit nothing. Nice side steps there from the Legion side. Now they're going to initiate, I think, on Madman. KAG is going to hit 2. Shell Surf comes out and hits both. He is going to port to it, so he is now behind them. And there's a little bit of lack of coordination going on here as now Bubbles is caught out. Staccato stuns onto him, of course. He has no Shell Surf, and this is going to be a dead Bubbles. KAG stun hits 3, actually, as Semelex on that Engineer picks up the Bloodlust. But that's going to be the end of the engagement. So bad start here for Team TKAG. Even Madman managing to get the ward down, so nicely played there. And this is going to be an aggressive tri-lane. Is that what they're going to do? And they put a solo short Corrupted and solo mid Madman? That looks like that's what's going to happen. So that's a fine option. Or maybe Madman's going to go short lane. Yeah, Madman's going to go short lane and Corrupted's going to stay mid. So that's fine. Slither's going to have... Oh boy, you're in so much trouble here, Bray. With this tri-lane, you're just... he's no escape mechanism, no stun. So if he gets hooked in, he's dead. Because there's, of course, a Shackle and a couple of stuns with both Rhapsody and Engineer. It's just, that's a problem for him. So I think they were expecting to run the aggressive tri-lane here on the Legion side as Torture was heading top, but now he's going to come back middle and help Bubbles box out the Corrupted maybe, or maybe he's just going to head top again. Nope. As well. Boy, I shouldn't have gone off of that, really. Because, yeah, just stuns coming out and Bray's in trouble. Hook is actually going to hit. So, this is going to be a massive suffer lane here for Bray, and I think Torture is heading bottom, and he absolutely needs to. There's pretty much no way that Bray is going to be able to do anything down here in this tri-lane if he doesn't have any support. Actually, looks like they're completely switching it up and running their own tri-lane against Hellborn's, and so now they have 2 stuns just like Hellborn does, plus the Poison Spray to go up against the Hook and the Shackle. I think I still favor the Hellborn there just because the Hook is burst damage and the Poison Spray is not. And Staccato stuns are easily the easiest stun to land here, so that's the best initiation either side has. Both the Chain Reactions and the Dragonfire from the Legion side have a bit of a cast time, so they can be somewhat difficult, and the AoE isn't that big. KAG has similar problems, of course, but with the Staccatos to set him up, and the Shackle and the Hook for that matter, he should be alright. As a pause comes out, once again, I can do this. Aha! As the Hook comes in onto Slither, and he takes the KAG, and there's the Staccato stuns. Rhapsody takes the Dragonfire, puts the Poison Spray out, but that's still going to be it. Slither. Rhapsody in some trouble here, but not nearly enough. And actually, Pyromancer's now getting chased down as he gets himself boxed into a corner, and that's going to be his death as well.
Piece of cake.
So Engineer on a serial killer streak right here. If Staccato stuns can come out in time, no. Engineer doesn't have any mana for that matter. As actually, Engineer should back off. Yeah, he probably could have eaten a Poison Spray there. But Hellborn pretty clearly winning this tri-lane at this point. They're up 4 kills to none. And with a Clarity Pot getting taken by Prisoner there, he will have enough mana to hook in a few seconds. So this is basically going to be on the Legion side to dodge hooks and counter-initiate. And I'm not sure how easy that's going to be, especially with, Prisoner's pretty damn tanky. So getting him dead before he is able to get some support and get some kills for that matter is going to be very difficult. Staccato Sun's going to come out onto Souther, but actually the hook's going to miss. So good play there from Rap. A little bit of a misplay there from Majestics on that Prisoner. Poison Spray comes out onto him, and he's going to take a bunch of damage from that and the toxicity. But Staccato Stuns onto Souther. Keg's going to hit him on eventually. Turrets here as well. Not going to be quite enough damage. Dragonfire Stun does miss. Phoenix Wave coming out into Rhapsody on top of the chain reaction. Now she's in some trouble. On top of the Agonizer Punch for that matter, and they're all really low, or at least Prisoner and Rhapsody are, but nobody's going to die. Bunch of regen being taken here by the Legion side as Prisoner needs to land those hooks, man. Because get hooks, get kills. Don't get hooks, don't get kills. That's basically the way this is going. So hopefully this will settle down for a minute. Take a look at the other lanes. Bubbles, Corrupted Disciple in middle, and Bubbles is sitting at 12-4 compared to a 13-6 Corrupted Disciple. So Corrupted with a slight lead here. Bubbles now at 15-3, so now he's taking advantage, and then Corrupted. So that's a fairly even lane right there. Up top, Madman's super low, but somebody take a health bot. Yeah, that was Pestilence in fact. Pesty at 15-5, Madman at 17-4, so Madman's slight lead there, but both of these mid and top lanes are pretty even as Solution takes some Staccato Suns, put the Poison Spray out. Where's the hook? He's faking it. He's faking it. He could have grabbed that Torture there because of where he's sitting. And he's acting like he wants to throw it out. Everything is up here for the Hellborn side. They have plenty of mana. Just waiting on a hook from that Prisoner. There's a hook in, and they're going to get up Souther. So here comes the Staccato Stuns on top of the KAG. This is going to be a dead Souther. There goes a turret. Poison Spray does come out onto Prisoner, but he puts the Shackle onto Pyromancer, who's there unable to do something. And now Pyro's in a ton of trouble as she's going to fall. Staccato Stuns once again onto Torture. And KAG is, actually, we have turret up in a few seconds, but that's not even going to matter. Auto attacks are going to be enough to finish off Torture as she dies. So, there. 7-0 here for the Hellborn side, and that's a problem. Just Bran and Souther getting absolutely nothing, sitting at 191 gold per minute. Everybody on the Hellborn side is above her, including this Rhapsody, and actually Engineer's leading the way with 330 gold per minute. So, carry Genji, I guess. Prisoner actually the lowest farm on the Hellborn side at 236 GPM, just really unable to grab that many CS because Souther's there harassing him. But of course picking up the kills and keeping his GPM up in that manner. He has gotten 0 of the 7 kills they've gotten in this bottom lane with 6 assists. Well, 6 kills they've got because Souther's going to get initiated on with the hook. There's the K. Poison Spray does go down, but the Shackle isn't up on top of the turret, and they can basically just eat Bray for lunch at this point. He's died 4 times. He's got nothing really in the way of defensive items. Ring of the Teacher, Mana Battery, it's going to provide a little bit, but not nearly enough to do anything to contend with all this damage coming out from Hellborn side. Meanwhile, in middle, Rhapsody has an Invis Rune looking to set up on Bubbles, but I doubt this is going to turn into a kill. They just don't have enough lockdown unless the Shell Surf goes out, in which case now she's in trouble. So the Kelp Field is still available, but the Corrupted Conduit on top of the ultimate from Corrupted Disciple and Corrupted will manage to take Bubbles down. So 9-0 hero kill advantage now as the hook once again gets faked in the Pyromancer. KAG and Turret are both available for Engineer. And Pyro needs to be real careful here, especially because Rhapsody's coming over here and they have no vision of her. So now she's going to find Pyromancer there in the jungle, and the KAG comes out on top of the Staccato Stuns. That's going to be dead Pyro. Poison Spray onto Rhapsody, but not, of course, nearly enough damage. Celix is on an onslaught streak. Bubbles is bot, looking to do something here, and Rhapsody's in some trouble. Gonna put Staccato Stuns out, and Bray's gonna die here. The question is, so is Rhapsody. Yep. So the Kelp Field comes out, and Bubbles does manage to pick off Rap. So Legion side finally getting on the action here, grabbing a kill, doing something, but they are really far behind at this point. 11-1 hero kill advantage for the Hellborn side. 5k gold, 3.6k experience. Keg comes out, does not hit Bubbles, so that will prevent the hook in. As the Legion has brought 4 heroes, as Pesty comes down from top. to try to do something about how poorly things are going in this bot lane, and Prisoner's now in a fair bit of trouble if he stays in. Kelp Field is not available for 45 seconds, so that won't be an issue. But Pesty's going to activate the flight, jump out to the side. They have a ward here, so they know he's coming in, but the question is, can they get there in time? No. So a ward here from the Legion, or the Hellborn side, saving Prisoner easily, and they immediately notice, oh look, he's probably had vision because he just ran away. So they put it down, they're going to counter ward that. Nice play there from Legion side. Unfortunately, it was a little late. Of course, if they'd done that a minute ago, then Prisoner would be dead, but if they had, if they hadn't tried to gank him, they probably wouldn't have known that there was a ward there, so. Oh well. Anyway. Legion clearly feeling that they just can't let this continue to deteriorate in bottom, bringing a bunch of heroes down. But I'm not sure how much Pesty and everybody else is going to do as Bray. It's just staccato stuns there on top of a KAG and a turret. Yeah, man, Jesus, man. Bray is just having some serious problems here. Angie's faking the ultimate over there for no reason. 0-6 and 1, 167 gold per minute. He is the third lowest on his team, as both Torture and Pyromancer get wrecked as well. And the only Legion Ward of Sight is going to get cancelled, or a counter. So, to be fair, Hellborn only has one up as well, but that's just painful. Legion have absolutely no vision at this point. They need to be extremely careful about what they do, because obviously they can't see it. Pretty much any gank coming in, and Bray's just going to DC. Like, is that where we're at? Is he just going to DC and say he's done? And they're not even going to pause for him. Okay, there we go. Of course, we're going to skip right through the pause because we have auto-skip pause turned on. Haha! But he's still not back, apparently. Even after the end of the pause. Not sure what that's about. I really hope that's not an actual rage quit, because you really never like to see that sort of behavior on a competitive game. Meanwhile, mid Torture's getting caught up by ING and Prisoner. Prisoner, of course, the haste rune, probably going for a rune there, but Torture going to die. Meanwhile, up on top, Pangy's actually going to fall as he gets caught out. Bubbles also in a fair bit of trouble. Shell surf away, but Raps is chasing him down. 5 seconds left on the staccato stun, and they're not going to decide to chase under the tower. They're going to try to kill him. That's the Hellborn courier, actually. So I thought that was the Legion courier they're trying to kill, but it's not. So I really hope Bray comes back, and I'm kind of annoyed that he isn't, because like, this is a pro HoN game, man. You're in Diamond Cycle, like, play the game. It's extremely disrespectful to just disconnect like that and decide you're not going to play anymore. Not just to your teammates, you know, it's not good for them, but to your opponents, like, you know. There's no question that Hellborn's absolutely dominating this game, and they're probably going to win it. But, like, just stay and play it out, you know. I'm kind of salty about that. It's like, it's one thing when it happens in TMM, this should not happen. Like, if he actually DCs here, that's really, really not good. And then we'll even see if he comes back for game 2. So I don't know what the hell's going on with Bray, but his DC timer is ticking down, and the Legion are not pausing again. I would assume they waited out that first 10 minutes and that just the server unpaused, but you never know. Yeah. Nothing much else to say. I mean, the Hellborn side's pretty effectively dominating this game. Look at the GPM charts. They're pretty much all above everybody on the Legion side. Bubbles is out farming Rapsy and Prisoner, but that's it. And I don't see too much of a way back in here for the Legion side as the Legion top tower dies. They are setting up here onto this NG Prisoner, and Pyro's gonna get found, but there's 2, 3, 4 in the woods actually, technically. Engineer ultimate gonna go off on top of the turret. Magpire's going to hit, but the keg's going to hit, so that's going to be a dead Pyromancer. Unless, of course, he can... Wow. Boy, they cannot find him, can they? There's a Scotto. They're going to get the kill on the Pyromancer with the auto attack. Ultimate coming out from Prisoner, and he's going to pull in both of them, actually. Going to get kill on Torturer. Pestilence gets the Impale stun out once more. Staccato stuns are available in a second, but he's got plenty of move speed unless he can land the hook. Not going to be able to, just missing. Over here, Repsy Ultimate going to go out saving Engineer as Bray dies on that Slither, who is actually DC'd. And it looks like we're going to die the tower here with Pestilence and Corrupted Disciple, and they're eventually going to find him. And Palestine comes out of the Corrupted, but there's a Shackle, so they can see him. Corrupted Ultimate is here. They're going to try to pick off the Corrupted here. They will, because the tower managed to switch targets. But Staccato Stuns onto Bubbles are going to be his death. Most likely? No. Yeah, nice hook. So, well played from Prisoner there. Chain Reaction Stuns onto Prisoner, but not enough tower damage. Madman comes in with the barrel roll, and now Shackle on top of Torture, and he's dead. So Hellborn basically just cleaning up kills here. They do lose Corrupted Disciple, but they pick off 5+, really. They won a team fight, and everybody respawned, and a couple came back in. They don't want got another couple of kills. And it looks like Bray's going to DC here. He's got 30 seconds left to come back until he's completely gone. And I really have no problem calling him out for that, because that's just a big fuck you to everybody in this game, teammates, opponents, and there's no reason to do that. Like if you don't want to play, then decide not to play before the game starts. Once the game started, you've decided to play. It's your obligation to your teammates and to your opponents, really, to give everybody a good game, and that involves actually staying in the game and trying to win, not just DCing when you get shit on bot. So you lost the lane, and that sucks, but you need to either be a man and CC with your team, and if your team doesn't want to CC, then your obligation is to play it up as Corrupted gets caught by the Kelp Field on top of the bugs, and Paleman Stun's going to take him here. That will Shell Surf's away, actually, and that's going to be enough for Rhapsody to come in and pull the Staccatos off to kill him. Bubbles is going to be able to port away, of course, as the Staccatos were down, as they would use the kill Pestilence, so just took way too long to kill that Corrupted. He's awfully tanky with a Mighty Blade, Steam Boots, Energizer, and a bottle, so just too much there. Pyroman's going to get picked off out here by just Engineer. He's farming creeps, and boy, don't even need the NG Ultimate there, just hey, why not throw it down at this point. So I mean, we're 15:30 into this game. I don't really know why the Legion haven't CC'd yet, because not only are they just absolutely getting wrecked, they've lost their carry player, who's decided apparently that he is not interested in playing anymore, and he's just going to leave because it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And so I'm sorry if you feel like I shouldn't keep harping on that, but it annoys the crap out of me when it happens in TMM games, and when you're playing with pubs and randos, like, you sort of expect people to kind of be assholes, but you don't expect that from this level of play. A hook coming in on a Pyromancer on top of the keg, and she's not quite going to die until the Prisoner Ultimate does not hook her in. Barrel Roll finishes her off. It does hook in Pestilence, but he's going to get away with the flight. Meanwhile, Engineer's running away. Energizer popped by Madman there to help Prisoner get away. Staccato Stuns on top of the dance floor is going to finish off Torture unless he gets Power Supply. There's one more auto attack there. Chain Reactions hit 2, actually. Engineer's going to get picked up over here on the side. Kelpfield going on to Madman. He's got bugs on him so they can see him, and he's not going to fall quite yet. He's going to be able to run away, but the Shell Surf and the... Nope, auto attack misses. Corrupted Disciple activates the ultimate. He's going to try to chase down Pestilence and or Bubbles here. Bottle onto... Prisoners helping out. Staccato Stuns are going to go into the hook, and now Bubbles is going to not quite fall here. Penny does fall in the Hellborn jungle. He's going to try to teleport out here and should be successful. So good getaway from there from Owned Me. Penny, of course, getting chased all the way into the Hellborn jungle and eventually falling to Corrupted Disciple. Not particularly surprising, as I believe somebody else came in, and possibly even Nighthound, to help him out with that kill. Yes, Nighty did. I say Nighthound? Nighty I meant Madman. Invis heroes, they're all the same. So I don't know what the hell's going on here. I mean, Hellborn have this game won at this point. Not only do they have 25-3 hero kills, they have a massive gold experience advantage. They're also a guy up, so there's no Slither here, and there's really no... I mean, there's some carry, I guess. Both Torture and Pyromancer can and have been run as carries. So if they want to transition one of them into a carry, well, that's fine. I suppose the problem is Pyromancer's sitting at 100 gold per minute, and Torture's at 81. So both of those heroes can farm effectively, as meanwhile Prisoners and Pyromancer got one more time by the Engineer field.
Give up already.
Engineer is just seeming to make it his mission in life to destroy Kind Man on this Pyromancer. Up on top, Bubbles and Pestilence looking for a pick on a Madman. He's got the bugs on him, but he's got plenty of support. And he's pretty well farmed for that matter. At 462 gold per minute, the highest in the game. He's got his ultimate orb on top of Steam Boots, Bottle Power Supply, and Energizer. So plenty of getaways, lots of movement speed, some healing, and some pretty decent stats with that ultimate orb. Not sure what he's going for there. I guess a Nullstone. It'd be kind of a stupid item with Pestilence in the game. Barrel is going to miss, actually, as there's a nice sidestep there. Impalement's done on Engineer, and actually he's in a fair bit of trouble. Mine and the keg are going to go out, and it's going to help him get away a little bit. Not nearly enough. Gorproc comes out. Hook's going to miss here from Prisoner, as Pesty now needs to run away, and not to that direction. Let's see his port. Yep, so he's going to port, and he'll be fine. Corrupt Disciples Electric Tide just misses, as of course Bubbles was able to get up to the top left and port as well. Madman with no stun, unable to stop that, even if he found him, and I don't think he did. So, good pick there onto Engineer from the Legion side, but it just doesn't matter. Like, Hellborn have such total control of this game right now that they need, 25 more picks like that, and then they're sort of in it. Not just because they're so far down on golden experience, but of course because this is a 4v5. Pyromancer going to get picked up one more time down here. Just so much damage. Corrupted at a conduit on her. Yeah, 6 charge conduit, 120 damage. So that's not bad. So, let's see. And Kongor is going to be going down here in a second, even if Legion knew about this, and they don't, with no vision really. There's nothing they can do to stop it. So Kongor is going to fall, put a token probably up on... I think I'd favor Corrupt at this point. Madman has plenty of getaways. Corrupt is a little bit more likely to get caught out. Madman is slightly more valuable, maybe, but Corrupt is in a little more danger, I think. Actually, it's going to be Prisoner who takes the token, so that's a little strange. I guess figuring he can sit up in the front lines, eat a bunch of damage with his tankiness, and then take the token and get finished, come back right up with full health, full mana. It looks like Rhapsody's looking for somebody down here. Dancer, of course, giving vision. She's going to finally find Bubbles and Pestilence. Staccato Stun's coming out, but the Shell Serve is going to go off. On the other hand, Kelpfield's going to, there's Corrupted Disciple. Portal key enough to get Bubbles away, as Owned Me will once again make a solid escape. Dancer coming down, trying to find him, but they're not going to, of course, because he's gone. So Bubbles having to drop pretty much everything to get away, but he does escape. Meanwhile, Hellborn's going to take out this last outer tower, the bot secondary, in an effort to, I suppose, just end this, because it has become apparent that the Legion team's not interested in just CCing. And once again, I don't know why. Love that DJ Rhapsody, man. So they are going to push mid tower. They're not going to get it, I don't think, unless Legion has no or Hellborn has no response, and that's what's going to happen. So they're going to get the mid tower here in favor of Legion, but their base is getting pushed in, so perhaps not quite as much of an advantage as one would hope. Dragonfire is actually going to miss everything. Prisoner's coming in here looking for a hook. He has the bugs on him, so he's a little less tanky than he would be, but of course he has that token as well, so he doesn't particularly care about dying at this point. Shackle coming out onto Pestilence. We're looking for a hook onto Torture. Just going to be sidestepped by Pyromancer, and he's going to go down. Shellsurf coming in here from Bubbles. He has a haste rune, so not going to be too much danger at this point. But I mean, they're pushing this really 4v3 now because they've got a pick. Corrupt is not even here, and they don't care. And they don't need to care because they can take this tower. They're going to deny it. Actually, DD haste on Bubbles, so that's really impressive. Okay, they're going to deny it if you're going to... Okay, then yeah, like, don't attack it if you're not going to deny it. Silly people. Racks are exposed. Shackle going up onto Pestilence one more, but Shellsurf and Song of the Sea coming up by... actually, support Lucky, sorry. Smithic's going to get bursted down by Pyro. Engineer Ultimate going off. Pesty's caught inside of it, and he's going to die. The Impalement Sun's going to buy him some time, actually. He does go through the energy field, though, and he is in some trouble here. Energy Mine going to find him, and now he's going to die, but Senelix does fall on that Engineer. Shellsurf coming out here, and Prisoner's going to put the Shackle onto Bubbles. Torture going to fall to Madman in the background, and now he's going to try to pour it out. Isn't going to be successful. Buyout here on both Panny and Own Me, as they're really trying here for some reason. Bugs onto Corrupted Disciple, but of course there's plenty of response here. Shrunken Head coming out from CD, and Bubbles can effectively do nothing. Panny actually does get hooked in, or yeah, he portal keyed in, I believe, and he didn't take the Shellsurf port there, so now he's screwed. He's definitely going to fall here to the CD and Madman. Prisoner just deciding now go in there and smack the racks around a little bit, throw on a hook, not going to hit anybody. He does have not head vision, excuse me. Shackle onto Pyromancer. Now Pyro's pretty screwed. Madman gonna just barely get away. Electric Tide gonna help finish off. Madman Torture Ultimate gonna kill. Nope. Barrel roll. So Madman just managed to finish off Torture, and this is gonna be a bot racks push. By the Hellborn side, nobody up until for another 5 seconds. And of course, Prisoner real low here, but he has that token, so he doesn't really care. He will choose to back off before he dies entirely, though, sitting at literally 1 health, thanks to Sanitarius. Impalement Sun going to do nothing there, followed by Cicados, and now actually Pesty's in some trouble. Not going to die thanks to the flight, but the bot racks will get finished off. Prisoner has decided not to go anywhere. Engineer going to be in here. Going to try to get the Engineer Ultimate off. Not going to be quite successful, but Pesty is still going to go down. Bubbles porting in here with the Shellsurf and Song of the Sea combination. Takes the Scottish Stones, and now he's in a lot of trouble. Kelpfield on the 4, actually. Engineer does die thanks to an Agonizing Bones, but Rhapsody Ultimate going to prevent anybody else from falling as Torture gets finished off by his team. Did she actually like spin the discs to auto attack? That's pretty awesome. Okay, I'm sorry, I really like that ult. Like,
the Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
I don't know why. Torture gonna get hooked in, and that's just gonna be his instant death. Pyromancer hanging around here. He has an ultimate. Wouldn't be able to kill Prisoner with it, I don't think. He's got a Mystic Vestments in now, but he's draining health actually with the Insanitarius. So now it would take his token. I don't know if Prisoner thinks he can or cannot die with, because Insanitarius won't kill him. Like, the life tick I don't believe will kill you. He is going to hang off to the side for a little bit. Rift Shards on the Madman, so that's where we're at now. Not to say that Madman shouldn't get Rift Shards, actually it's quite a fun item on him, but, you know, he's so farmed. 550 gold per minute, 527 on Corrupted Disciple, 426 on Prisoner, so he was the worst farmer on Legion, not anymore. Over 300, nearing 350 for both Rap and Engineer. Agonizing Bonds onto 2. Pestilence is going to get caught by the Engineer Ultimate, as is Bubbles, so Pesty's in a ton of trouble here. Torture going to get first, though. Pesty's going to fall as well. Shellsurf coming in. Actually, Bubbles is going to port to it, so I'm not really sure about that. Pyromancer gets picked off to the side. Kelpfield onto 3. He's going to PK in and take a take cover, but that's not going to be nearly enough, as he's also going to fall. So, Nighty 3 kills away from Immortal, but not going to get it, as that's going to be the game. I'm disappointed a bit in Team TKAG.
Legion
I
Tower.
honestly hope that Bray does not come back for Game 2, because that would ideally mean that something actually happened and he was unable to continue playing the match. And if that's the case, then that's a different situation, and that's fine. But if he does come back for Game 2 and just decided to quit this one because he thought it was over and his team wasn't quite ready to CC yet, then that's bad on him, and he shouldn't have abandoned his team like that. I really don't think that reflects well on anybody when they do that. Nonetheless, excellent play here from Hellborn. They completely dominated a bot tri-lane, ran it very, very well, picked up a whole bunch of kills, gave themselves a large early lead, managed to more or less split the other lanes, but the decisive one on bot really took home the win for this team. And even after that, they played quite well, finding picks everywhere, good warding, ganking, farming, really every aspect of this from YLTP was well executed, including the draft. So good on them, good performance in Game 2, and we'll move on to Game 3.